everyone, my name is Katie and I just finished my third year of teaching first grade, and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be an advice video for anybody who is about to start their student teaching or their internship experience in the classroom. I'm going to give you my top 6 pieces of advice that will help you survive student teaching and get the most out of your experience. The location of this filming is actually super special to me because I am filming in a classroom in Haley Center at Auburn University. I am a 2-time Auburn grad and we're just in town visiting with some friends, and so I thought it'd be really special to get to take some walks around campus and film a video in one of the Haley Center classrooms where I spent all of my time before I did my student teaching and before I became a teacher. So I'm going to share my 6 pieces of advice. In between, I'm going to throw in some clips of the gorgeous campus at the fabulous Auburn University. War Eagle. All right, let's go ahead and get started. My first piece of advice for anybody who's starting their student teaching is to try everything. When you get into the classroom, make sure that you take initiative and ask your cooperating teacher if you can try things. For example, when I did my student teaching, I started out small just by doing the morning meeting every day, but I just had to jump in and be like, hey, can I try to lead that like you're leading the morning meeting? And of course, your cooperating teacher is going to prepare you and help you to take that piece of the day over. The more you try on your own, the more prepared you're going to feel for your own classroom. One regret that I have is I did not try teaching small groups very much. I watched a lot of my cooperating teacher teaching it, but I wish, looking back, that I had tried teaching it on my own more, because that was an area that I needed a lot of growth in my first couple of years teaching. So make sure you try everything and take initiative and ask your cooperating teacher what are some things that you can start to take ownership of in your classroom. Tip number 2 is pretty short. Get feedback. Always be asking your cooperating teacher things that you did well, things that you can do better. Make sure you write them down and reflect on them, because that's going to help you hone in your teaching skills and become a better educator. Seems pretty self-explanatory, but sometimes can be a little bit scary, and you have to be prepared to get that constructive criticism, but it's really going to help you in the long run. Tip number 3 is know that you're going to have your own teaching style that you like, and that's okay. Your teaching style may not match 100% with the cooperating teacher that you're placed with, but just remember that you're a guest in somebody else's classroom, so soak up everything you can from that cooperating teacher, and even if there are some things that you would like to do differently, remember you're going to be able to do that in your own classroom. During my experience, we had a 2-week period where the intern or the student teacher took over for the whole 2 weeks and taught and lesson planned and did everything on their own. So I used that time period as a time for me to kind of put my own spin and use my own teaching style. And then for the rest of my student teaching, I threw it in a couple times here and there with different lessons, but I really tried to soak up what was the teaching style of my cooperating teacher. Remember, if you don't agree, that's okay. It's also a good practice to work with colleagues that you don't have exactly the same style. Because when you're a teacher, you're not going to do things the same as the person next door. So this is a good chance for you to practice acting professional and being respectful to colleagues or your cooperating teacher, even if you have different styles of teaching. Tip number 4 is take pictures of everything you do. Of course, check with your cooperating teacher and make sure that it's okay for you to take pictures. Some classrooms you might have students that you're not allowed to photograph, but more than just photographing the students, take pictures of the activities that you do, of the lesson plans that you liked, the organization in the classroom that was a really great idea to you, because when you're setting up your first classroom, you're going to want to be able to go back and look at those pictures. For example, when I started my first year, I did my center rotations the exact same way my cooperating teacher did, because I taught the same grade. I had taken pictures of her center board, so I was able to go back and look at it and then get some things to make that my own in my own classroom. The more pictures you take, the more you'll have to reference later on down the road, and you never know when you're going to need it. Tip number 5 is make sure that you are always organized with your deadlines and assignments that you have to turn in. Having a student teacher requires extra effort from the cooperating teacher's viewpoint. Not only are they focusing on teaching the students in their class, but they're also dedicating time to help you become a better educator. But keeping up with your deadlines and your responsibilities is not part of their job. You want to make sure that you are following all of the deadlines and all of the requirements that your university has, and that you're remaining responsible for that, because your cooperating teacher doesn't know the things that you need to finish for your program. They may have some knowledge of it, but it's not their job to remember all of your deadlines. Treat this as practice for when you're a real teacher and you have deadlines to remember as well. It's really good to practice that responsibility now. I would recommend making a student teacher binder. There are lots of great videos on YouTube for how to put together a binder for student teaching, or just get a planner and keep track of all of it in your planner as well. And my last tip, number 6, for being the best you can be at student teaching is make sure you get out of your classroom and observe some other classrooms while you're there. It's always great to observe other grade levels, different teachers, because every grade, content area, and every classroom is going to do things a little bit differently. When you're student teaching, you want to soak up as much experience as you can. That way you have a bank of things that you can pull from when you're a first-year teacher and you're trying to decide what fits your style the best. That's something that I wish I had done a little bit more of in my student teaching. I did get to go visit some other grade level classrooms and I got to see an EL teacher, but I wish I had asked to do it a little bit more. I know you feel really busy in your classroom with your students and your cooperating teacher, but you can politely ask your teacher to go and observe some other teachers during the day, and I'm sure they would respect your request and they would let you go observe, and they might even recommend some other classrooms that would be great for you to go check out. Those are my top 6 tips that will help you be the best student teacher and prepare you the most for your first year of teaching. I hope you found these helpful, and if you know somebody who's about to be a student teacher, make sure you send them the link to this video so they can get some tips before they start. As always, you can reach out in the comments section if you have any questions about my student teaching experience or any teaching questions in general. I love interacting with you guys in the comments down below. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can see my future videos. I try to post one every single week, and I will see y'all in the next one.